in. I like coming in this time because only if, some good people come in who know that I'm coming, and you be asking some good questions. So what are they? I want to know what's on your mind, what's preventing you from crossing over to the funding side. I want you to take a look at what's happened in the past. It doesn't matter what it is. Let it go, okay? Forgive the past. Be it relationships, emotional, the presidential election, your finances, bad business decisions. Accept it and move forward, all right? That's pretty much it. I don't care what's happened. I was listening to something this morning, and I'll share it with you before I get into today's training, and I think it's highly important. Forgiveness is taking a moment to accept that the past is not going to be any different than what it was. So if you're struggling right now with negative items because you made bad decisions, or you lost your job, or whatever may have happened to get you in that situation, look at it, accept it, come up with a plan, move forward. That's it. That's just as simple as that. So how do we start? Someone asked last night when I was live, like, how do we become funding ready? You become funding ready by starting out, number one, where am I? What do I need to do to get started? Do I even know what that is? You start with your personal credit profile, period. I don't care where you are, who you think you want to be, or where you think you want to go. Pull out that personal credit profile. If you do nothing for yourself this year and in your immediate future, is to clean up your personal credit. All right? Because the next step from owing a lot of people money, and you're just allowing those negative items to just sit there idle, is for them to start suing you and taking you to court. All right? If you don't want that to happen, it is time to take action. All right? Hiding, not talking, do whatever you can do to get yourself in a better situation. That's first and foremost. Number two, we need a blueprint. How do we become funding ready? You can start by taking a free 15-minute call, right? You can type talk, book your free call, and let's get funded, right? What that call is going to do is help you understand where you are and what's required for you to cross over to the funding side. That's it. Information is very powerful. I can remember I didn't even know that you can get rid of a bankruptcy. Why? Because I was disconnected from the internet. When that came to my awareness, I immediately said, I have to get this bankruptcy off. And I proceeded to do so. Before, I was depressed. I thought it was over for me. I didn't know what to do. The immediate moment that I got a plan for myself, things just went up so fast that I couldn't even believe it. And it's hard for me to go back, but people ask me, like, what were you doing in those dark times? I'm like, man, I have to be honest. For the longest, for a good 6 to 9 months, I just was stuck in place. I didn't know what to do because I had never been in a position like that in my life. Lost no job, no income coming in. My company is crashed. Money is trickling in. I have mountains of bills. I'm bankrupt. I have all these people I'm responsible for and to, and I was in shock, right? But the moment I made the decision to accept my current condition, a plan came to me. Because at the end of the day, when we're grieving and we're mourning and we're suffering, it's because we're focused on the problem. This right here applies to anything in your life, your finances, because your finances and your money is emotional. All right. That's why when people try to think it's a joke, when people lose money and they commit suicide, that's a real thing. Your emotions is deeply tied to your money. It's just like that. All right. A good book to break that down is The Psychology of Money. This is why people make decisions that is not logical. All right. We need to learn how to make logical decisions. Who helps us make logical decisions? Mentors, mentorship groups, people who we can look to and ask questions. So as you come in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and ask any questions you may have. I would like to answer any questions you may have. So stop me at any time. I'm not here long, so make it quick. So what I would say to you is come up with some form of plan, some form of strategy. I don't care if it's $5,000, $10,000 in funding, clean up my personal credit profile, build out my LLC. Once you start focusing towards a solution, things just start rolling for you. Your energy is so focused on the end result that you feel good. Just think about it. Just think about something you want. Doesn't matter what it is. When you sit up and imagine yourself having that thing, it just feels good. And when you feel good, you do well. It's just as simple as that. All right. So clean up your personal credit profile, build it up, get a strategy. All right. Seek guidance. Ask someone, what is my next move? Because if you're just trying to figure it out on your own, you'll get frustrated because you don't know what you don't know. Right. The only reason I was able to get rid of my bank, once it came to my awareness that I could get rid of my bankruptcy and I can get funded, right? I literally just took action. I was able to accomplish that in 5 months, but I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own efforts. Not with the information that's out here now. It's all over the place. Stop listening to a lot of people. All right. When you're listening to all these people, you're getting bits and pieces of information and you're just confused. Find someone that you feel that you get, good insight from and just stick with that person. Trust me when I tell you that. All right. So I need funding. I'm in a position. What else does it take to get funding? What do you mean you're in a position? So you need funding. You're in a position. What else does it take to get funding? So I have a ton of videos talking about what your personal credit profile. So what it takes to get funding, your personal credit profile needs to be in order. You need to build out your LLC for funding. Is it named properly? Is it categorized properly? Right? So it's a lot of moving parts. Do you have a web presence? What type of funding are you seeking? How much are you seeking? And how soon do you need it? What type of business do you have? All of that comes into play to determine what your next move would be. Hence the reason we're giving 15-minute calls, strategy calls, all right? Type the word talk, fill out the short questionnaire, show up to the call prepared, and you will then know what's next and required for you to get funding, all right? Do we have any other specific questions? Who's here already have a business and in business? If you're already in business and you have a business like a corporation or an LLC, put a 1 in the chat. So I want to know who I'm talking to. Right? Because first and foremost, having the money and you don't have a plan for it is probably the worst thing you can possibly do for yourself. Okay, we have an entrepreneur. Okay, what industry are you in? And how much funding are you seeking? Right? How many entrepreneurs do we have here? If you're an entrepreneur, you have an LLC, corporation, put a 1 in the chat. This way we can know what it takes to get funding. You have to make your company fundable and credible. All right? Okay. I would think that mostly all of you are entrepreneurs, right? And you have a corporation. All right. Someone put on there the industry that you're in and how much funding are you seeking and what you're using it for. And I'll give you a real answer. See, I'm trying to help you ask the questions so that you can end up on the funding side, right? it's best when it's more specific to you, because each and every last one of you that's on this call, you have a very different funding strategy. There's no black and white blanketed way on how to get funding. It's so many different ways to get funding. You have CDFIs, you have SBA lending, you have business lines of credit, you have equipment financing, you have 0% interest credit cards. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. There's some banks that will lend to companies that's 2 years and older. There's a few banks that will give you business lines of credit if you're less than 2 years, right? It just honestly depends on what your industry is, and how you're going to use the money will be the best way to determine what type of funding you go after. How are you going to use it? One thing you should be thinking about, number one, what do you need the money for and how you're going to use it? Some people don't even have that part planned out. They just figure, I just need money, I need funding, but don't even know the reason why. Number two, what you're using the money on, is that going to generate income to pay the funding received back? You're a charity, nonprofit. If you're a nonprofit, I highly recommend you go after grants, right? Like most banks don't even like national banks and my mentees. So I don't do grants and stuff like that. So most banks don't even give funding to nonprofits, right? Reason being is because, to my understanding, I'm not a tax person, but you need to zero out at the end of the year. So you're a non-for-profit company. So things are different. You go out and you go to companies directly and you get grants from them. I know people were going to Walmart, they were going to Target. Well, I know Target doing real bad right now. But you literally like figure that part out. If you're a charity or a nonprofit of some sort, how to fund it. It will not be the traditional way of a for-profit business. All right? Definitely go seek, profit somewhere else. But here's what I will say. If you don't have a for-profit company, each and every last one of you need to get one. It's definitely a tax strategy, and it will help you get on in this country. All right? You're more than welcome. Do we have anyone else? I want a real situation, right? Don't pay my dog any attention in the background. She's a trap. So what is your company? What industry are you in? How much funding do you need? Just say, hey, I'm in marketing. I want $25,000, or I have an e-commerce business and I want $50,000. Let's get some real juice going. Don't y'all want some money? You know what I'm saying? So I'll give you, let's see. Any questions? No questions. What do you want to know? I'm here. I'm here to serve you. So let's act like we're in a room together and we're talking. What would you say? What would you ask? How do your business get funding, right? Okay, let's go. You have a water filtration business and you need $150K. All right, how are you going to use the money? That would determine which type of funding you go for. Because you have to think about that. Do I need long-term lending? All right, if you need long-term lending, because $150,000 is a lot of money. You putting $150,000 in that business, wherever you decide to put that money, it needs to pay that back. I would say if you need a big chunk of money like that and you know exactly where you're going to use it, I would go after SBA lending. But your credit score has to be a certain way. You need to be funding ready. You can't owe anybody anything. Your business needs to be at least 2 years old. You need to have filed taxes for at least 2 years, right? And your business is profitable. You can then get an SBA 7A loan, 10-year term, something like that, okay? You can also go after 0% interest credit cards, right? up to 20 months, or, you know. What's next? What's next? Any questions? Any questions? Y'all be more alive. I'm gonna start going back live at 7:15 in the morning. Those people be ready, because they probably be on their way to work and they sick of their situation. Y'all sitting here playing. Best strategy to clear up your credit. What's on your credit? You can clean up your credit yourself. You go to mrscashflowsdiy.com, or you can pay someone to do it for you. Why do you do that? Because that platform will allow you to generate the AI letters to mail them off directly to clean it up. So if you don't have money, you have time, you can do it yourself. If you don't have time, you have money to pay someone to do it for you. If that's the case, type the word talk and let's get you over to my affiliate. Okay, if you have a personal business question, type the word talk. You can then, so it look like you're trying to come up. So back alley, are you trying to come up? Because every time I try to pull someone up and you don't pop up, it interrupts the live. Right? So definitely ask your question here if you can. Greeting. Is the SBA still forgiving PPP? Some PPPs were not forgivable. You need to give them a call and figure that out. I thought there was a deadline, right? I knew a lot of people that was working with us. They had a link or something like that and they were forgiving them. Some banks were forgiving the loans. It was a form you needed to fill out. So it's MRS cash flows, just like, I don't know if you see my name somewhere, but it's my IG handle name, DIY.com. Go there, set it up, start creating the letters that's required. So you see my IG handle name? My IG handle name, DIY.com. That's where you go. Yes. Anything you need to dispute. What happens is you just pay for the credit monitoring and then it will populate your credit report. AI will zap all the negative items on there and create and generate a letter for you that you can print off and then mail to each credit bureau to have that dispute handled. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you. Do we have any more questions? I'll take one more. So wherever you are, get a plan. Accept where you are. Get a plan. Do not be afraid. You have to be bold. When you're trying to create something new for yourself, it requires a new person to be developed. Who you are right now is not the person you're aspiring to be. That's just the way that it is. It takes bold action. This is why I love mentorship, because you can move alone. It's a lot of people in your circle that probably just don't believe in who you are or what you're trying to do. But when you join a mentorship or a group of some sort, you have a bunch of people on the same mission and they're all rooting for you. What's the best credit builders for a business? Is credit steering still good? There's really, so those credit builder accounts, they're considered like consumer credit. Like there's no speedy way to just add accounts and then you can take that business credit report to go get funding from a bank. No. Taking and adding builder accounts to a business credit profile, that's at that point is net 30 consumer accounts. That is not, you can't take that business credit report and say, Chase, give me $25,000. It's not how it works. This is why you need to focus on your personal credit profiles, because they're going to look to the credit cards you have there in order to get real funding from a real bank. All right. Clean up your personal credit profile, increase your current credit cards, and then build out your LLC, structure it out. Okay, you can add the net 30s just to generate the credit report. You can Uline, Granger, BP Gas Card, Shell, Nav Boost. Who else do we have? It's one more. Credit Strong, right? Divvy Bill, you can add that. Those accounts right there will generate Duns and Bradstreet, Equifax Business, and Business Experience. Once it's generated, you still need to have healthy credit cards on your personal credit profile to then leverage that to get real credit cards and real lines of credit from a bank. I hope this is information you can use, guys. Type the word talk. If you need credit repair, go to MrsCashflowsDIY.com. Clean up your credit. Let's get funded. Be amazing. Be great. Bye.